game is on point. And somebody is, hey, Lionsden, is that you? I'm getting some back sound, brother.
No, it's not me.
Okay, that must be back to the basics. You got to mute I got to mute her because she's bringing in the back sound. Can't have that. We're gonna bring her on and I'm gonna bring her on into the show. And let's see. Let me bring her on. And here we go. Boom. Is she coming in? There she is. And let me do a configuration. We got to get the configuration right for all of us. And maybe we got to do it like this. All right, here we go. Back to the basics. Let me unmute you. All right, get that back sound. Oh, hello. Get that back sound out of there. What's wrong with you?
I apologize. I muted. I forgot I had this running on on something else. Yeah. You just had to bring up the hammer game.
Hey, we got folks coming in tonight. We got 103 people watching us on Haps. We got 25. I think all my people that watch me on YouTube proper are coming over to Haps and watching me. 104 people watching us on Haps right now. And we got 27 people watching us in YouTube proper, but it's all good. I love all the audience wherever they are in the live stream sphere. So you heard some of the things that we've been saying tonight. Back to the basics. And before I get started with you, let me give you a clap because you deserve it. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, Lord. Now, back to the basics. Can you answer any of the things, or is there anything that we talked about tonight that you're curious about that you want to add to? But let me ask you the most difficult question that's come out tonight: the hammer game. If you meet a gentleman, here's the criteria, ladies. Again, if you meet a gentleman and he looks good, he's tall, he's got himself together, he's got the Billy D. Williams look with the Colt 45.
Oh.
You know, the most iconic scene is in Lady Sing the Blues. Remember that scene with Diana Ross when she was in the club singing and Billy D. Williams came in with the white suit and the hat and he put her, man, this is iconic. I remember this when I was a kid. And Billy D. Williams put his hands out like this and said, "Oh, you just going to leave my hand hanging there? Or are you just going to..." And Billy D. Williams was on point. Now, so if you got a brother that's got that Billy D. Williams energy to him, but then you go in the bedroom when it's time to get busy, and for some reason, the hammer game is just not what you were expecting. Okay, this is the breaking news for you and for all the ladies out there. Here we go. This is the answer. But once again, for the ladies in the chat rooms, wherever you are, put a 1 if you would get rid of the guy. Put a 2 if you would work with him, and put a 3 if you're not sure. And here's the breaking news answer, and here we go.
Information is power.
All right. You're on the hot seat. Back to the basics. And all the ladies in the chat room, I'm asking the question again because I don't think people are being honest. Yeah. What would you do with the criteria that we have laid out tonight? What would you do?
Well, I think some people are being a little bit too nice. So I had to say, yeah, he gonna have to go. That you know, because if you expect a moist, chewy cookie, then the hammer game has to be on point. You know, I see that. I think some people said that they were gonna, hang in there, and but for me, if I'm going on, yeah, it has to be, it has to be on point, and that's just me. I would consider myself to be a superficial person because I understand that sex isn't it's not the only thing. It shouldn't be the only thing that a relationship is built on. But yeah, the hammer game has to be there. I think some people are just trying not to hurt some people's feelings. I don't know. But that's just me.
Okay.
So
let's see what people
I can't
are
speak
saying
for all the
room.
ladies. I can't speak for all the ladies. So
Okay, most of the ladies again in the chat room are saying number 2. that they would actually give the brother a chance and work with him. So it looks like all the ladies are saying that they would work with him because sometimes there's times when you're getting ready to have sex and the man can be nervous and maybe it ain't working that night. And sometimes women may not be at their best too. So we have to all keep that in mind too. Sometimes people may not be at their best. Sonia C says number 2, she put a 2 that she would work with them. But I'm trying to find out what Patient's position is. I didn't see her position. She's in the chat room too. Oh, she put a 2. She put a 2. And she's in the chat room for over in Haps. And I'm putting her stuff on the screen here on Haps and see what present that on the screen. That's being presented there. All right, folks. We got 27 people strong in YouTube proper, 114 people watching us strong in Haps tonight. So we got Omega Courtney. Omega Courtney, I need you to weigh in on this too, sister. If what is your answer to what I just presented? And everybody in the chat room, you can give her a reminder what I was talking about. Donna says that I answered your question. Scroll up. Okay, let me scroll up. Let me scroll up. I think you might have said 2. Okay. She said relationship examples. If the light are about to be cut off in 2 days, the man can still want some cookies. The woman will not be feeling sexual. She worried about the lights. You got that right. You're going to be, because women are very, what we would call, they want security. They want a nesting ground. They want security. They want things to be stable. And that's where we as men, because society has put us in that position, we as men have to be a stabling force. And Lionsden, what do you think, brother?
Well, I agree that basically, I mean, I'm gonna just basically keep it 100 here. That that when if I'm gonna tell you like this, if the woman felt that the hammer isn't right, I'm sorry. Some women, I'm just saying, some women will say bye bye. No, nice knowing you. Hit the road, Jack, as they say. But sometimes some women felt like, okay, maybe he's not experienced in sexual emotion. Maybe I can work with him a little bit. So it really works. It really works. It depends on the woman, and it works both ways at the end of the day.
Okay. I hear you, my brother. Okay, we've got we got Silks BB Scratcher coming in. Peace to you. And we've got we got Go Professor in the house. Peace to you, brother. He says
Go
Professor says, if you were on with me on my channel, this probably would have some turns, and Cole Professor. Let me put his message on the board here for people to read. I kind of missed out you understand what he's saying? Back to the basics.
Let me see. He's saying, if you were on with me on my channel, this probably would have, took some turns. I think
took some turns. Okay.
Yeah, he's
okay. I misread what he said, or just there was something that and then we got somebody else. Let me look at my other computer because I'm looking at both the YouTube chat. We got Omega Courtney in the house. We got my man O'Shea in the house over here. We got J Lo Rich in the house. We've got Chris Lane in the house. We got a View for a View who says 2. View for the View, and I love View for a View. She has a really great channel. I hang out with her. There's a lot of YouTubers that I go on there. I hang out with a lot of these smaller YouTubers on YouTube, and I enjoy it because when you go on their channels, ain't no BS going on. People are humble. People are very respectful, and I love it. And View for a View has a great channel, and she said 2. So it looks like most of the women that are watching tonight, and let me see what's going over in Periscope. Looks like all the ladies are saying that they'll give guys a chance if they don't have their hammer game working. Okay. All right. Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because this is all the talk. This is all the talk on social media. And I don't want to, I'm not going to name names tonight, but y'all know what's been going on YouTube. There's this whole talk about high value man. What is a high value man? Is a high value man just a man who makes a lot of money? He has nice clothes. He has a large sphere of influence, meaning he's connected to many people within his social circle. Is he a man that makes over $100,000 a year? This is some of the talk that's been going on YouTube for quite some time, and I'm not bringing this issue up to disrespect. I'm not looking to attack anybody on YouTube and all of that. I'm just asking this question in general to the ladies in the chat room and to the men that are out there. What is high value? And then another question I want to put on that is, does anybody have? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but not their own facts. And I'm going to tell you right now, just the fact that I'm born, I'm alive, that God made it possible for me to come into the world, that automatically makes me high value because I'm alive, I'm living. And then what I do with my life, whether it be a good job or education, money, cars, whatever, that only adds to the quality of my life. But the fact that you are alive, that you're born into the world because God made it possible, that already, if you go from a biblical point of view, you already high value. Now, if you go through a social construct view, then you would say, well, you're not high value because you ain't got a lot of money. You ain't got, because remember, when you talk about high value man, you got to look at the social construct and the spiritual construct. Because everything that we're doing in this society is all based on social constructs, race, how much money you have, all this stuff is how you're seen in society, right? So I'm just put that on the table, let that breathe a little bit. But who wants to go at the question of high value?
Ladies first.
Well, thank you. There's so much in the two questions that you presented. I would say it all depends upon who is like defining what high value is. To me, I don't. It's more than just monetary. It's more than just six figures and whatever have you. One of the things that I look at for me personally is a person's character. Um, that's one of the things that I look at because to me, honesty is very important to me. I wouldn't want anybody lying to me, and I don't go for lying and
And
putting on
I,
fa- and putting
I,
on false and putting on false errors. So to me, a
Mm-hmm.
person's character is something that I look to for a as far as high value. That and their other qualities, are they hardworking? And I watch how they treat other people and different things like that, their demeanor,
Right.
their approach. So when I think of high value, I'm definitely looking at character because I've met, I've come into contact with various attractive men. And then, like I said, once I would, start a conversation and just talk to them for a few minutes, sometimes I'd be like, oh my gosh, why did I even come over here and start talking to you? Because of their train of thought. And I'm like, okay, let me just, yeah, let me just keep walking. I'm serious. I think that our society sometimes we get a little bit too caught up in the looks, and I got it. I mean, of course, there is going to be some level of attraction. It's if at but that's not the only thing. So and money, I got it. People talk about resources all the time. I'm not going to name any specific YouTubers or anybody on that platform, but they talk about that a little bit too much. I got it. Of course, and it's not just women. Men want security too. They don't want to be linked up with somebody whom that there's no trust. So there's more things to high value than just money and someone's looks. But that's just my opinion. I do agree with the other statement you said, information man, as far as a person's opinion and facts are two different things. And as far as black men, I know if I ever do have a son, or if I ever marry someone who has kids, I mean that would be something I would teach my son or my stepson, like, you are high value because you're here, you're a black man, you're a black boy, you're the original, so yeah, you're automatically high value. But that's something that I would teach my son or my stepson. So, but that's just me.
Tell the truth. That is very truthful. Lions Den, what is your view of the high value man? We know what the criterias are because that's what's been spreading around the YouTube community, which is this whole issue about making a certain amount of money, having a sphere of influence, being connected, um, you know, the way you carry yourself, dress, style, what have you, confidence on top of your ability. We're talking about men who women may covet because these are men who have a certain financial status, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, like I said, this is all this stuff that's being talked about on YouTube about about high value man. This is all social construct stuff, right? The paper money, the money that we use, the money, it's all paper money. Someone else put the value on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is you have men who make a lot of money, and there's women out there that want to be with these men that they may deem as high value, right? And they're out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but how do you make sense of this whole thing called high value man?
High value man. I agree with back to basics here. I think with high value man, these are brothers that making six or more figures that
Right.
already got they're really together brothers, and so some women out there, and there's some women out there that are wanting those six figure men, those high value men, but sometimes women have to step back and say, maybe I need to find a lower standards of myself, because just because you try to get with a guy that has six figures doesn't necessarily mean he's attracted to you. And I mean, and so most high value men, because I know some people that's like that. Most high value men, they're looking for a woman that don't go after them for just for money or just for fame and fortune. They're looking for companionship, conversations. They're not looking for all of. They're not looking for people that's going to go after them because I got a nice 2021 SUV or
Right.
whatever. Because this is like because to me they call them gold diggers, and so that and women just want to go after them because you're a baller or you're a football player or basketball player
Right.
or even a CEO of a major company. And a lot of men be turned off by that. So
Right.
most high value men aren't looking for a woman that's going to come after them just because you give them this, and this. They're morely looking for is, like I said, companionship or conversations. And if they feeling that person, then it's going to happen regardless. But at the end of the day, they're not looking for a woman that's going to just go after them because they're high value or they're making six figures. It don't work like that.
Right. We're having a good night tonight. I want to thank everybody in YouTube that's hanging in the YouTube chat, that's speaking. A lot of people are having great conversations in there. And I think RY says good night to Donna. She said, nice talking to you. I'm glad that everybody's having a good conversation in the YouTube chat room. Everyone's commenting and having a good time. And I got to figure out what I want to do, Lions Den, because I think I may, looks like everyone is pulling over here. I got 147 people watching over here in Haps. So I think I may sometimes just have to go on YouTube alone, just by itself. Sometimes,
Okay.
to balance things out, because I think a lot of people that watch me on YouTube, they're coming over to Haps, and what Haps is doing that I like is that it's giving. That's why I keep saying this, because YouTube has a screwed up. I'm on a pet peeve here. YouTube has a screwed up watch box. They make you think that you have less people watching you than really are. Over here, I'm getting a true count. I got 147 folks watching me live right now. on Haps, which is connected into my social media as well as my YouTube channel as well. I think people are coming over here and watching through this system because this allows you to watch me live on any type of social platform that you prefer to use, because not everybody likes to use YouTube. Not everybody likes to use Facebook. So this is allowing people to watch me live, you live, everybody live, based on the social media that they prefer to use. And I think and so my numbers on my YouTube channel tonight is 22. That's the lowest I've ever had going on at this time of the night. And I know why, because all my viewers are being pulled to different places. And that's okay. It's okay. You know, this is the first time this is only the second time I've used this system where I plugged it into my YouTube. And this is great because we're getting a lot of people that are watching. And I appreciate you all being here. Everybody in the chat room being here. Patience, Sonia sees they're over in the Haps chat room. We got Go Professor. I appreciate you being here too, brother. This is great. Great having you all here tonight. This is a great conversation that we're having today. Back to the basics. Did you have a chance to hear what I was saying about the origins of Valentine Day? Valentine Day.
No, I missed that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a pagan holiday. I mean,
Yeah, I'll
there's
give you the
about all of
quick
this.
I give you the quick summary of Valentine's Day. It comes out of a Roman pagan holiday
Of
in which the
course.
men would sacrifice goats and dogs, and they would take the remaining carcasses of these animals and they would use them and turn it and use them as whips to whip women in their ritual. And the reason why they would whip women with these dead animal body parts is because they thought that would make women more fertile, that they would be more fertile towards the production or producing children. That was a ritual adopted by the Romans. Then they would also do this. They would have a lottery where they would take the names of women and put them in a jar for young men. And then they would attach the young men to the women and have them walking around with them throughout the whole night until they would decide that this woman was the right woman for them. That's the ritual of this. And they would do this ritual every February 13th and February 14th. Then you had the Pope. They killed these guys who went by the name of Valentine, right? They killed them. And under killing them, they came up with the name Saint Valentine. So that was within the church, the Pope. We're talking about this was back in AD, I think AD 469 or AD 96. We're talking about way, way back.
Wow.
Right? So this is the origins of the holiday or this day of quote unquote love that people are celebrating. And I said in the beginning of the show, because I'm going to give you information when you come over and listen to me. You can research this for yourself, folks. I'm not making any of this stuff up. This is historically, you have universities that have researched this kind of stuff. This is where it comes from. So it's supposed to be a day of loving a woman and a woman loving a man. But when you go back thousands of years, it was a day in which women were mistreated for men to determine how fruitful they would be for childbirth and relationship. Crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff that makes you say, you got to hit the alarm and say, stop it. Just stop doing that. So I want to give a summary again, because there's people coming in the chat room. We got 151 people watching us on Haps, people that are coming in, listening to us, who may not be aware of that history. Look it up for yourself. And Sonia says this: high value men should have high value protective comprehensive or respectful, strong men that have stability. So I think basically Sonia Senior is saying is that she wants men that have stability, that are strong, they're protective, all these different things she sees as a high value man. Now we got my man Kendrick coming in. And I say peace to Brother Kendrick. I think some people are coming in through, I think this some kind of way connects with Instagram too. I don't know. Um, any other things, Lions, anything else on your mind as it relates to relationship, brother, and marriage or anything?
Just a quick point. So I think the only important thing if you want to be involved in a marriage or in a relationship is, like I said, three things: communication, trust, and loyalty. Communication is definitely number one, because without communication, there's no trust or loyalty. Um, and I think that, and I'm trying to read back of what Sonya C says, and she really saying info is that intelligence. Let's see what she said in the back. Oh, she said high value men should have high values: protective, compassionate, respectful, strong man that has stability. And she's absolutely right about that. I think
Okay.
that, when once we as I mean, when you involve in a relationship or you involve in a marriage, you have to have compassion towards your spouse. You have to have your the trust in your spouse, and communication, because without those three things, none of this would never work.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Um, back to the basics. Anything you want to add?
Wow. Yeah, he just Lions didn't just drop the mic. He just said yeah, I would say, let me see. There's not too much I can add to that, except mine would be a little bit more, just slightly different from what Lions did just said, because um I mentioned 5 C's in one of my videos. So I mentioned confidence because to me, confidence is something that's really important as well for men and women. And then I brought up competence as far as people knowing, consistency, confidentiality, and commitment. Because at the same time, you can have a lot of things going, but people want to see consistency. Oh, I mentioned character. So confidentiality was like the 6C, but character, because I'm a big character person. Um, and people, they want consistency. Once people start seeing inconsistency, then it's, things can go left. So that's what I would say. But it's a great discussion.
All right, let me answer a question that someone had. I think O'Shea had asked me in the chat room what HAPS is. HAPS is a broadcasting platform which allows you to broadcast in multiple places. But let me give you a warning for those of you who want to come over and uh, it's just another way to broadcast your live streams. You can broadcast it into all your social media. That's all it is. It's just like StreamYards, where you can broadcast into all your social media. It's the same way. It's a new platform, but let me let you know that a lot of stuff that people do over, a lot of stuff that we can get away with at times on YouTube is not going to be tolerated on this platform. The people who created this platform, Peter, and another guy that I fail to remember his name. They sometimes will come over into the chat room, see how things are going. They'll come over and say peace to you, things of that nature. They're working on this platform and improving it because it's in the beta stage, so it's only going to get better. And they ask for people's feedback to make the platform better. One of the things about the platform that I've been finding very interesting is that a lot of people that I see on this platform, and I got to be honest, and this doesn't mean that you don't have the same kind of people on YouTube, but I've been noticing more and more there's a lot of professional people. You got journalists, you got professional musicians, you got very professional people that are using this platform. And there's people who come over here, they do news. They do a lot of news on this platform, news reports, conversations, things of that nature. Now, because this platform is brand new, they don't have the type of, I would say, the kind of money that YouTube have. So their tolerance for stuff that people sometimes do on YouTube is not going to be tolerated over here. Meaning, if they get rid of you, you're gone. They ain't going to be like YouTube where you go and make another account. So All the sort of nonsense that sometimes goes on the YouTube platform, it's not going to be tolerated over here. You ain't going to be able to get away with having live streams where everybody's arguing and using foul language at each other and blood and all that. They're going to get rid of you. Because I looked at their terms of I looked at their rules. They got a strict rule on doxing. You dox people on here, and it doesn't matter if you're on YouTube and you're doing it through YouTube because you're broadcasting through this system into YouTube, and you just think, well, I'm doing this on YouTube, so it ain't going to have any bearing on HAPS. Yes, it does, because you're using their system to broadcast into YouTube. So whatever you're doing on YouTube, where you're doxing or you're doing certain things with, to people or talking about people a certain way, they're not going to tolerate it over here. They're going to get rid of you immediately. So what I'm saying to you is it's a different crowd. It's a different environment on this app because it's brand new. And because it's brand new, when you got people that have something that's brand new, they don't want anything or anyone or anybody to do something that can get their platform in trouble, because YouTube can take the hits, because YouTube is a $1 billion business. And even though YouTube has rules where they get rid of you too, this platform, the tolerance level is very short. So usually when I use this platform, I'm talking about news. I'm providing a content like what we're talking about tonight. We're being very respectful. We're not using a lot of foul language. I'm using coded language so people understand what I'm talking about. We're having an adult conversation, but we're not getting ridiculous with our conversation. It's within the bounds of adult conversation, but it's within the bounds of the policies. So that's what it is. You can check it out, but I'm just telling you again, for those of you listening out there, there's things that happen on YouTube that won't be tolerated on this platform, period. You'll be gone. It doesn't mean that you lose your YouTube channel. You just won't be able to stream. You won't be able to use this streaming platform to do it. That's all I'm saying. So let's get back to the conversation. And thank you, everybody out there that's listening, that's supporting the program tonight. I appreciate everybody that's listening and supporting the program tonight on YouTube proper, Periscope, Twitter, let's see what else, Facebook out there, wherever you are out there in the world. Thank you for coming over and listening to our conversation tonight. We got 159 people watching us on HAPS, and we got 23, 24 people watching us on YouTube, and I still appreciate everybody out there. Let me ask this question here. I gotta ask ladies this. This is a question for women. What are the qualities that most turn you on when it comes to men? I personally think that men should be mysterious, just like the vampire, like Dracula. That's one of the reasons why ladies dig Dracula, because Dracula was real smooth. He had the cape, right? But other than the cape, because the cape is kind of goofy, and the fangs is kind of crazy too. But take away the fangs and all of that, what was the qualities that Dracula had? He could look at women a certain way, and he could put you under hypnosis. And he had a swagger, and he was mysterious. I believe that women love men that are mysterious. And so therefore, men, when you're dealing with women, you need to be mysterious. Don't be so predictable. Now, that's just my opinion, my thoughts, but let's hear from Back to the Basics. Let's hear from the ladies in the chat room and YouTube, the ladies over here that may still be over here in HAPS. Let's listen to all of you out there. Let's go. Let's start with you first, Back to the Basics, and then we'll look at the chat room and hear what the ladies are saying.
Man, you are really putting the game down tonight. I'd have to say yes.
Well, look. Usually my content, people label me as pro-black or something like that, but my content, I cover all different things, right? And so all that talk that you hear in the manosphere, I could talk all that talk too. I could talk that talk. If I wanted to make a manosphere channel, I could have did that a long time ago. I could do dating coach talk. Look, I've been around the block. I've had relationships. I've had experiences. I can do dating talk, coach talk. I can do all that talk too. But I choose not to make that the main content that I do. but I can talk that talk. Ain't nothing special about that type of talk. Shit. Go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Yes, I'd have to agree with what you said. Mystery is one of those things I do agree that men should have because it keeps women interested.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let me see, I was listening to this podcaster, and he did something called, and I think you do know who he is because he did something called Alpha Male Lessons One. Oh, so yeah, it wasn't only men who were listening to that. So I said, okay. So I agree with what you said. I sometimes go back and actually listen to it. But yeah, mystery is definitely a turn on, and swag. Me, like I said, a man has to stimulate my mind. You got to be able to talk about various different topics and subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you mentioned in your podcast, you said, what was it? Well spoken, well dressed, and well read. I do agree with that. It just can't be just someone who just who has a good physical appearance.
Well, let's be honest. Let's do another survey. Ladies in the chat room. And I'm going to come over to Lions Den in just one moment. Ladies in the chat room. Do you prefer a man who's well fit, muscular? I mean, we hear this kind of talk all the time. You know, y'all like the men that's muscular, 6-pack stomach, tall, 6 foot, versus a man who's 5 foot tall. Come on, lady, let's be honest. Do you like personally, I like women that are short and tall. I take it all. See, men, we're not as discriminating. Men, for men, we don't care. It doesn't hurt. For men, we like women that are tall and short, long as it's all nice and, in the package that we like. But women, you guys have, I'm generalizing here, of course. There are some women that dearly like men that are tall, and they wouldn't date a guy who's as tall as the penguin off of, Batman or something like that. You know what I'm saying, everybody? You know what I'm saying? So ladies in the chat room, while I go over to Lions Den, put a vote. If you like a tall man who's tall and muscular, put a 1. Put a 2 if it doesn't really matter if he's tall and muscular. Because there's some guys that are not muscular, but they still got a nice, they're in good shape, right? They're not overly muscular. And when I say muscular, I'm not talking about bodybuilder type shit. You know what I mean? No, that's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? So ladies, put a vote in the chat room. If it doesn't matter if he's tall and muscular, or tall and athletic. Let me use the word athletic, right? Does it matter? Does it matter that if he's big as Fat Albert? I mean, I gotta be honest. Lions Den, what's your thought, brother? You're laughing over there.
Brother, you just basically really put words out of my mouth. But basically, yeah, there's some women. I mean, I agree with you, Info, that we as men didn't care if a woman's 5'4" or 6'4". We don't care about that. But women has a lot of preference. They said that I don't care. I mean, women loves tall dudes. They just their preference, and I was like, okay, we got no problem with that. But yeah, that's the truth, Info, that we as men, we didn't care how high of a woman is. But women, oh my goodness, they already know what they want. They already know what their preference wants. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So I think Patience went back into the YouTube chat room. She says, I would date a man short or tall. It isn't so important to me. That's what Sister Patience is saying in the chat room. It doesn't matter how tall or short the man is. She's more concerned about how he's treating her, where his mind is, and things of that nature. I think that's where she's taking it with her analysis. And then I think RY says, I can't have a round shaped man, though. Nah, that's not cute. So she doesn't want the Fat Albert type guy. And certainly, wait a minute, but certainly there are women out there who do like men that are a little healthy around the stomach, right? There's women out there who don't like skinny guys, right? They like guys that are, fuller built, muscular. Maybe they like guys that are a little chubby. There's women out there that are chubby chasers, that love chubby men. And there's men out there who like women that are full figured and chubby too. It's all in what you like. Okay, just like what was that? Digital Underground said back in the day. What you like? It's what you like. It's what you like. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Wow.
What you like?
What you like?
Oh my.
I mean, come on, we're having a good time tonight. We got 171 people watching us over in Haps. We got 23 people watching us in YouTube. People watching us all over the place, and we love it, and we're enjoying the experience tonight. I'm enjoying you all here. But let me do this, because I think all the ladies in the chat room are basically saying that they're more concerned with how the guy is treating them than all these physical attributes. Now, sometimes people are not always honest, because I go by what people do, not necessarily what they say. Always go by. And when you're dating somebody, when you meet a woman, a man, ladies and gentlemen, listen to Information Man. When you're dating someone and you're in a relationship, don't go by what they only tell you. Yes, you listen to what they say to you. You put it in your memory bank, and then you say to yourself, I'm going to see what they do. So if a person says, hey, I'm romantic, I treat women good, I treat a man good, gentlemen, I cook for my man, I all these different things, then you simply observe the woman's behavior towards you, and women, you observe the man's behavior towards you. And if they're not doing any of those things that they've been saying that they're about, that tells you everything you need to know.
Tell the truth.
It's just that simple. Now, let me go over to my man Lion's Den and get his thoughts on whatever question he wants to throw on the table before we come to conclusion tonight. So Lion's Den, brother, you got the floor. Is there anything that you want to bring to the table that you agree or disagree with what I had just said a few minutes ago?
Yeah, I have a question. And
go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, I have a question, and this is for the ladies in the platform in the chat room. And this is an important, because it's an important subject. What kind of a man are you guys looking for? What are the qualities of a man are you looking for? And that's dedicated to all the ladies in there, because there's
that's a great question.
Because there are some different type of men that a woman is really interested in. So that's what I wanted to ask all the ladies, not only in the YouTube or here in Haps, anywhere in the social media. What do you looking for in a man?
Now, my man O'Shea, not to be confused with O'Shea Duke Jackson, but I've been on panels with this brother here. He's an older brother, goes by the name O'Shea. He says men ask women what they like in a man is to be taken with a grain of salt. Well, it's just like I said, brother, you got to go by what a person does, not what they necessarily say. You take in what a woman or a man says, but ultimately you want to see if it creates fruit, right? Because you judge a tree, listen to me now, you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. So when you're dealing with anybody, you go by what they do. So that's why I'm saying when you got guys on social media, these people who teach you how to talk to women, tricks and all this kind of stuff, how to talk to women, how to do this and that, all these, you have dating coaches that are trying to give you tips on how to attract women. At the end of the day, you can say all kind of stuff to women, but you got to be able to back up what you say through action, right? You got to be able to back this stuff up. Facts. And this is the thing I'm going to put on the table right now. I'm not a dating coach. I ain't no male advice show, but I can talk the game too. Shit. The way you get into a woman The way you get a woman is you give a woman an orgasm through her brain first, not her body. You get her brain, and then the body falls down, comes to you. You must go through the mind first. You must turn a woman on mentally. If you can give a woman an orgasm mentally, everything else will fall in place. So that's why it's important that not only that you're able to communicate with a woman, but now you must back up what you have communicated, because once you communicate and you're able to strike that organic chord in her brain, now she's going to be looking to see if you can back up what you said that got her brain sparked. And if you can back it up, it's like pow, pow, popcorn and pow, 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 pow. The bells will ring, baby. And then what'll happen is that you'll be out on a date with this young lady, right? You'll be on a date, and the next thing you know, when you're on a date with her and it's all working, if you've been dating her for a while, she's into you for a while, then all of a sudden what's going to happen is, because you were able to pow the brain and everything else falls in place, now she's taking you home. You see? Because you've got the it factor. Okay, now as you can see, come on home, baby. The it factor is there. Okay, there we go. There we go, and that's how it's got to be. That's because it is what it is to be. And you got to stop. This is for men that are out there. Stop comparing yourself, and ladies too, stop comparing yourself to other women and other men. Don't compare yourself to another man, men, because why? Instead of talking about the man and worrying about another man, you've got to be the damn man. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
And I want to add something, Info, as I may.
Yes, sir.
Because, I think the problem with some men, they have low self-esteem, self-esteem issues. So it's really important for people to understand they need to be, you got to be yourself at the end of the day. Because the one thing I've noticed about women, one thing some women don't like is they try to act or try to pretend like to be somebody that they're not. They don't like that. I started noticing about women now. Some don't like when a person try to pretend to be, they want to be like Jay-Z, or they want to be like Biggie Smalls, anything like that. They don't like that. So as long as you have confidence, and if you love yourself, and if you basically be yourself around women, they'll respect you more.
You're 100%. You're 100%. I think men and women spend way too much time trying to be something that they're not. So that goes to this question of high value again. This is the concern. There's nothing wrong with striving to be the best, educationally, physically, spiritually. You're supposed to be on this earth to be the best at whatever it is that you're trying to do. But however, I think when you listen to people on social media that talk about these sort of social constructs of being high value, all these things are great. You want to reach the top of whatever you're doing, but understand this is just the facts. You've got to be realistic as to what you are able to do at the time that you're in. There's some people who start off, like, for example, for me, I'll use myself for example. When I was much younger, I had no money. I'm working small little odd jobs. And what did I do? I built myself up by simply going to school, getting a profession, getting an education. And that happened. That helped me to open up doors for myself. So you might meet a man who's not quote unquote high value now, but it does not mean that he does not have the potential if he's driven. Now, ladies, listen to me. I'm going to tell the truth to y'all tonight. If you meet a man, ladies, and he doesn't have any drive, any ambition, any get up and go, and he's lazy, shiftless, always depending on you to determine where y'all going to have dinner. Don't y'all just hate when you get involved with a guy and every time you say, and the man is saying, hey, honey, where you want it? The woman is asking you, honey, where are we going tonight? I want to go have a beautiful dinner tonight. And then he's asking you where you want to go. A lot of times women want the man, they want you, the man, to have that shit together.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the
You
truth.
gotta
Women,
have it together.
okay, another mistake that men make. Yes, yes, we, yes, men go through things that make us emotional that are hard, right? Hard, right?
Yeah.
And unless you have a really close relationship with a woman that you're bonded with, yeah, you can tell the woman what you're going, you can tell her that you're going through some things. That's with a woman that you're bonded with already. But for the most part, this is just the way I see it. Women really want to have a man that they can cry on that man's shoulders. I don't think a man, personally, I'm old school. I don't think a man should be crying on a woman's shoulders
Mm.
because a man, you're supposed to be a symbol of strength. So even so, if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're hitting on hard times, you can't be falling apart as a man. If the woman is falling apart, she's got to be able to have some some belief in you. So you
Fact.
got to stay strong as a man, even though you know you're struggling internally with what's going on. But your woman is looking to you for direction and leadership, and you can't be falling apart and be crying on her shoulders.
Mm. That's facts.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yep. That's yeah. That part. Yeah, because us women, we can get emotional enough. We don't, we can't. I need some balance, and if I'm emotional, and if we're both emotional, yeah, we're gonna have we
Right.
gonna have problems. We can't do that.
Right.
Uh-uh.
Let me say peace to Kujin87 in the he says he totally agrees in the YouTube chat room. Tiffany Jackson, who's coming to house, everybody that's over there. We got about my audience is split tonight. I got 25 watching us in YouTube proper. I got 178 people watching us in HAPS live. And so I'm broadcasting all over the social media sphere tonight. So that social media sphere tonight is combining us with 178 people watching overall. And then we got a tally of 25 people watching us in YouTube because I'm experimenting with this new broadcasting platform that I'm using where it's allowing my broadcast to go out to many social medias, which is maybe splitting my audience up because people are watching in other platforms that they like to watch in. And this, like, I'm going to say this again, this is another commercial again. This proves to me, no doubt in my mind, that YouTube's notifications are a abysmal because
Mm.
I'm getting a good number of people that are watching me on HAPS, and my HAPS is linked into my YouTube. And when I'm on YouTube and I end my streams, I can see my total of people that were watching, and it's always higher than what's showing in the watch box. So it proves to me again that there are more people watching the program, and at the same time, that YouTube has a janky watch box, and they are lying to us. They're not that their notification system is at the bottom of the shelf and it does not work properly.
Mm.
But I thought we were talking about that they actually improved their notifications.
They said that last year.
No.
When you go into your YouTube studio and they leave you one of those funky videos about this is what we've improved right on YouTube, right? And they had I saw the video, I watched it about how they improved the notifications and how they were going to take away emails so you don't get these YouTube emails all the time, right? And they found out that more people watch your channel when they just get the notifications in general, but not always in the as an email, right? But there's a notification that pops up on your screen when you turn it on, right? And they said they've improved it. And I don't know what they've improved, to be quite honest, in terms of the notifications is what I'm
Right,
talking about. I don't
right.
see what's improved.
Even
That's just how I see it.
even on YouTube, they also having, you notice that you have subscribers on your channel, and all of a sudden you thought you have a lot of subscribers, but it turns out you got little subscribers. They're taking YouTube normally removes subscribers out of your channel without
Right.
any reasons. So
This
they
is what,
sometimes YouTube does that too.
check this out, brother. I've looked at my my analytics, or I look at my how many people are subscribing to my channel. I'll get a bunch of subscribers, and each day I look at my analytics. YouTube is taking away subscribers. One, two, three, four here. Then all of a sudden, I'll have some more, and then that'll stay there for a while, and then they'll cipher a little bit. That sounds that you know what that means to me? Either there's something wrong with their AI, or they're trying to keep the channel from growing. They're trying to suppress your growth.
Facts. Yeah.
I personally think that they want to suppress the growth of channels that wake people up. And the channels where all the nonsense goes on that makes where people are arguing with each other, they want those channels to grow because they want that type of content to be the content that black folks are focusing their mind on.
That's fact.
That's just my opinion.
Tell the truth.
No disrespect to anybody out there and what they do on their channels. I'm just saying there's something doesn't add up right. Why are you and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are saying, hey, I woke up, I had a for example, I could have 10,000 and 80 subscribers. 10,880 subscribers, right? Wake up the next day and now it's 10,875 subscribers. And I'm like, well, what happened to the other one? What happened?
Yep.
And then, because what, you know why I know that there's something going on? Because I'll even on the YouTube studio, you can go in and see the new subscribers. So I'll go to their channels to make sure that they're real people. And when I go to their channels, they got real content and they're real people. They're not a bot. Anytime you got channels where the person ain't got no content and it's all kind of weird, and maybe it's a bot, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying to myself, what's going on here? So there's something wrong with their AI where they think that real people are bots. And so they're taking people away from you that they think are either bots or they're purposely taking people away from you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And it was so sad. And I think YouTube's going to be losing a lot of people on their networks because the thing, number one, I mean, you grow in your channel, you're going to have a lot of subscribers following you regardless. And then when you look again with the subscribers you have, when you thought you have, that's when YouTube is taken away when you're talking real talk. We're talking factual stuff. And like I said, sometimes you even have, people like reality shows or people that's in the entertainment or even news people always go to YouTube now because that's where they get their high subscribers. And remember, when we talk real talk info, people don't go on the mainstream media no more. They go to YouTube and see what's going on.
Right.
They don't go there. But ever since that happened, that's when you notice that all the people that's in the mainstream media go to YouTube to do their own thing, to take all the content away from us. So YouTube just got to get their act together.
Well,
facts.
I'll say this: YouTube is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is a strong platform. It has lots of support. The majority of young people, 70%, I think, of young people are getting their information from YouTube. YouTube is a place that a lot of people want to be because of the fact that it has all the bells and whistles that people like. And streaming has now increased in popularity because of this virus that has a lot of people indoors because we can't go to restaurants and clubs and bars anymore. So people are finding their social interaction with people and family members on social media, which is why what we're using tonight, Haps as a platform, YouTube, all this stuff is good. I just don't think that YouTube, if I could talk to the executives, I think it's a lady that runs YouTube, and the people who do all the eternal stuff, I have a lot of questions for them. I want to know, why is it that you're taking away subscribers when my channel has no violations. I want to know why I can go live and have 50 or 49 or 60 or 70 people, 80 or 90 people watching me on a good night. And then when I end my stream immediately, it will tell me that I had about 600 to 700 people watching. I want to know why that 600 and 700 is not showing up in my watch box. And the reason why I'm making a big deal out of it is because of the fact of this is that because I believe there's more people watching me and watching us than YouTube lets on, it makes me wonder if they're not trying to suppress your channel to make it look like your channel is not that significant.
Exactly.
Right.
And I did a story info, and I never forget this. I did a story one time, it was all on a video, and then YouTube was accused me of violating let's say I'm violated community standards when it comes to kids. And I said that's not right because I never even done anything like that. In fact, most of my videos is 18 years and up. So why would YouTube even think it violate my community standards? So they took my video off, and and what happened was I filed I did what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I went after YouTube, and
Yes.
and then I think once I went after them, um, and then they've realized they messed up, and they put my video back on. So it depends on what I mean. The thing of it is that just because you did a content or the video doesn't necessarily mean it's a violation of community standards, and that's what YouTube need to be
Right.
fixed.
Let me tell you what happened to me, and everybody in YouTube knows this because I went live. What I did is and back to the basics knows this happened. I what's that sound? There's some really weird back sound. I did a video on this virus as it relates to black people. And let me mute that. And as it relates to black people, Alliance did in Back to the Basics. And I was saying, why are they so focused on? They were so focused on making sure that we get the vaccines more than anybody, right? And I gave some breakdowns. I really had my research together when I presented my position, and then they claimed that there was something that was misleading in the video, so they snatched the video up. They took it off, and I believe that they took it off because they did not because I wasn't speaking the larger agenda of the society that wanted this agenda to be pushed as it relates to black people in this taking the vaccines and all this sort of stuff, right? So I asked very important questions, but it got taken. And I understand why it got taken, but also what can be happen to you is that you can have people who call you up or on your panel, and if they say something that does not go well with the algorithms, then YouTube will take it down. That's why when you go on people's shows and people's panels, you've got to watch how you say certain things.
That's
because you could say something that can impact that person's channel.
Yeah, because it happened to me, and and after when they took my video down, I filed an appeal. That's what I was gonna say. I filed an appeal against YouTube. So YouTube updated, or they look at my. Turns out that it didn't violate the community standards. So they basically apologized to me and everything. They said, we apologize, Lions Den, for the misunderstanding and miscommunication that we have. They put my video back on. So the thing of it is, like you said, people need to be careful. If you're a content creator on YouTube, there's some things we need to be careful of. There's some things that YouTube be watching. That whatever we say may violate their community standards, and they
Right.
you really get rid of your channel like that if
Right.
they have to.
Right. And so you're absolutely right. I mean, look, I don't want to violate any kind of standards. I'm not going to violate standards over here on Haps either. I'm just going to I'm going to do content. I'm going to be honest with the content, but I don't want to, nobody wants to lose channels and lose, connections to platforms and things of that nature. You want to make good decisions and things of that nature. But it's just obvious to me that when you are telling the truth,
Tell the truth.
then there's more there's more that happens to you, to your channel, and to your content. It gets censored, basically. Okay, that's basically what happens, and that's just the reality. So I want to thank everybody that's here tonight. We got 25 people in YouTube proper. We got overall 183 people watching us out of HAPS tonight. I'm broadcasting through HAPS. We got 183 people watching us. We got folks watching us over in Periscope. And then we got people watching on Twitter. Twitter proper. And then I'm also on, I don't know if people know this, I'm actually live on Twitch as well.
Wow. Yeah.
So what happens is, this is how it happens with HAPS. I'm going to say this again for another commercial. So when I go on HAPS and I broadcast out of HAPS, it's pulling all of my social media into one place. And when I broadcast, it's sending my broadcast feed to everything: Facebook, Twitch. Same thing on StreamYard. StreamYard does the same thing, sending it to Facebook. It's sending it to Twitch. It's sending it to Twitter. It's sending it over to Periscope, right? And when I signed up to this, it asked for my Instagram. So I almost think that some kind of way this is getting attached to my people that follow me on Instagram too. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's bringing the audience wherever they are to the platform. It's bringing them to the content wherever people want to gobble the content. And I think that's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, I love HAPS. And when I first signed up, and they gave you the list of all the social media you want to put your video, put your content on, and I put it all on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, you name it, I'm on it. So it's one good thing about HAPS. I mean, no matter where you are, it's all on your social media. So that's one good thing about it.
Right. Hey, brother Ted Hicks, he's out of HAPS. He's a moderator for me over in HAPS. I just send you an invite if you want to come up and say what's up to everybody. I appreciate you coming over. So like I said, there's a complete different community over here from YouTube. This is what's different about this community over here in HAPS. That's different is that since I've been on it, because I have a lot of respect for people on YouTube as well. I just noticed that a lot of the people that's over here are very friendly. They will invite you up on their channel to talk. They will invite you to, find out who you are. They're telling people to subscribe to people and things of that nature. Very friendly, very down to earth. There's all different ethnic groups on here. And another thing too, the app is international. So you got people on here from all over the world, all over the country. I might have somebody that come into my chat room and say, hey, hello from Brazil, hello from France, or whatever. It happens. So you got international people on here. You got people on here that are lawyers, doctors, scientists, biologists, you name it. People that are legitimate. There's too much back sound coming in here. I got to cut that back sound. I'm sorry, Lions Den. I'm just gonna mute you when I'm speaking. You got people that are professional journalists. You got sports. There's a couple of brothers on here that are actually legitimate sports journalists that interview athletes that I've had a chance to talk to and be on a panel with. So there's a lot of professional type people over here. Now, that doesn't mean it is not professional people on YouTube. Yes, they are. They're there, right? But I noticed that on here, they definitely cater to people who work in these professional, and they come on here and they do reports. So that's why I was saying that, because it's new, I believe that their threshold and tolerance for anything that breaks their policies, it will get you banned permanently. Not from YouTube, but it'll get you banned from using their platform. I got to emphasize that because I had a chance to look at their policies, and because it's new, anytime something's new, they don't want nobody messing up what they got going because they're trying to build themselves up. So I just want to give that. I'm just giving that disclaimer to everybody that, when I use this app, I'm going to use it when I'm talking about certain type of subject matters. That's how I'm going to use this app. I'm going to use this app within the professionalism that the app has presented itself to me, and that's what I'm going to do. You prepare your content to meet the crowd where you are. That's just the facts. Doesn't mean that I'm still not going to get into the hard hitting subject matters tonight. Brother Ted, do you want to come up? I just send you an invite. If you want to come up and just say what's up to everybody, you're more than welcome. I appreciate you. Let me put him on the screen here. Oh, there we go. He's here. I see him right now. Let me bring him up. Let me see how let me configure this a certain way and bring him on up here. And here we go. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, people? Oh, as always, you got a great show.
Thank you, brother. You got anything you want to add to the discussion tonight? Anything that's on your mind? I've been kind
of. I was there for the earlier part where you were talking about Valentine's Day and the true history behind it.
Yes, sir.
And that was a great segment. And then I chimed back in when you were talking about YouTube, and you're talking about how it seems to be tricky nowadays, and you do have to be careful with what you say. A big piece of it is if you are being monetized. Mm-hmm. So if you have over the 4,000 hours watched and more than 1,000 subscribers, if you meet that criteria, then there's money involved. So It kind of puts you into a different bucket. So, and that bucket is, reviewing your video. And after, and I know all of you guys have your own, are content creators, but when you have your video and you're going through, it asks you specific questions. Was there any inappropriate, conversation? Is this for kids? Is this for this? It's a line of questions that you got to go through.
That's right.
And, the how do I say it? The artificial intelligence that runs with YouTube now, it's scanning for all of that. So if you have like a video, like your shows are like 2-3 hours, it's running through that. And it's I think the true bucket is, can he get paid for clicks? Can he not get paid for clicks? Because they'll throw you over in that other bucket real quick, and you'll have a ton of clicks, and you're like, oh man, this is great. I'm internet savvy. And then when you look at it, how much money did I make for this content that I created? And it's like zero. So just for all of us to educate each other and make sure that we don't fall into those traps. And just to loop back on the whole, being in a relationship and all this other type of stuff, it's a lot. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where, there's a reason why 50% of all marriages, wind up in divorce court or they fail, and what's tricky also now is so for the last 10 months, you notice that divorce rates have gone up because people are together, whether in an apartment or a townhouse or condo or 1 or 2 family homes, because they're not used to that type of interaction. So that's when you start to see, do I really talk about with my significant other? Because remember, most of the time we spend is pre-COVID at the job, commuting, and the like. So it's just key to understand the type of situation that you're in. We all know communication is the key. Communication. So, and I'm not, some relationship expert. It just worked for me. Like, I sit in the text chat. I got married in 1998, and I've seen a lot over those years. There's been a lot my wife and I have disagreed on. You can't win every argument. and you shouldn't even try. So that's kind of my take on those two topics. I will say this much: Haps is a great tool. I've never seen a community like this. It's not like there's going to be trolls, but I've never seen a positive community work like this, where people want to work together with each other.
Right. Well,
and that's really my take.
Well, let me ask you this. I had a chance. I've been saying this to people because there is a different energy on YouTube versus Haps from what I've seen in just my short time on here using this platform and broadcasting it into many other areas. But I looked at their criteria for them booting you off of here. And it seems like their criteria, from what I've read, looks like they have sort of a no nonsense policy in which they'll just get rid of you for no return.
I mean, you got to remember also, it's a.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It could be. Oh, I'm sorry. It could be my internet connection because it's kind of flaky. But yeah, no, it's. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I've seen a couple of trolls in here, not with us per se, because I think we would the claws would come out with us.
Right.
But I've seen a couple of trolls act a little quirky, and I've seen people get booted.
Okay.
So it's I don't know. I just see there's like a different energy.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. So that's why I've been trying to tell people what I noticed. Like I said, this platform is great for getting a lot of your people who follow you on social media, bringing them in very efficiently, because people have their favorite social medias that they prefer to utilize. So if you got people who you can't get them over to your YouTube channel for in my case, where a lot of people, they'll come over, but not in large numbers, but maybe you can get them on Facebook proper, and that may, and they still are able to consume your content as well as other platforms that are out here. And because this is only in the beta stage, it's only going to get better. It can only get better. And I like the fact that the guys who were involved in creating this take a very hands-on approach with asking people's feedback about how they can improve this platform. So I say I'm gonna give a clap to the guys who put it together again. I give a clap now. Most definitely.
I don't know where back to basics and
oh yeah, let's turn their volumes. Lions, then he wants to know where are you stationed at right now, as far as where you're living.
Oh, where I live is Nassau County, New York. So Long Island.
Ooh, man, he's out there in Long Island. Lions, then where you at, man?
I'm in the southwest of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right. He's doing work out there. And then we got back to the basics. She's military. Where you at again?
I'm stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. So
no, it sounds great.
Sounds great.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah,
thank you for inviting me this evening.
All right, brother. I'm glad that you're up here. I'm going to get ready to wrap everything all up anyway, but I'm glad that you came up to say what you had to say, and I appreciate you, Ted, for being very inviting to me since I came onto this platform. And I want to say peace to you, everybody out there. This is a good brother here, very good brother, and he's been nothing but fantastic towards me since I found him on Hap. So I'm glad that I found you on here, brother.
Same here, brother. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a good night.
You
Take
too.
care. All right, everybody. Peace to you. So this is what we're gonna do. let me get Lions Den and let him say his words tonight based on what we were talking about. And Lions Den, here we go, brother. We're back at it again. And what are your thoughts, brother?
This is really a good platform. I enjoy myself, in doing this and info. You and I, we've been boys for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what we're doing. Keep talking real talk. And I think the truth is that when it comes to the relationships and Valentine's Day, I think people need to wonder that, like I said earlier, if we love ourselves, and if your spouse or your soon to be spouse likes you for who you are, there's a great opportunity that y'all will have something special. When it comes to, like I said, one thing is communication, trust, and loyalty. And like I said,
Mm-hmm.
without those three things, there is no relationship, there is no marriage, because those are the only three things you need to keep the relationship and or the marriage alive. Is those three things.
Right, right. And once again, brother, I thank you for coming on board tonight with me. I know that you were getting ready to make some food, and then when you told me, "Hey, you hadn't eaten," I said, "Oh man, I felt bad," but you were willing to hang in there with me, and I really feel happy that you did. And I'm glad
Yeah.
that Back to the Basics came over. I'm glad that everybody came over. And look at us right now, man. We got 202 people strong watching us throughout the social media and haps, and we got 27, 25 people in YouTube. The audience is split all over the place, but I don't have a problem with that because people are watching the content. And that's what it's about. And I really appreciate everybody out there that is watching wherever you are in the world. I always say that. And let's go over to Back to the Basics. Let me put her up front and center like you were. Stick around, though, Lions Den. Don't go anywhere. And here we have Back to the Basics. And anything that you want to say tonight based on some of the conversation that we've had?
Well, I mean, I would just say there's not really too much I can add. But thank you for inviting me up. I really enjoy the conversation and just a real conversation about relationships, and for asking some of those questions. Even though some of those questions it was getting a little dicey, but
Yeah, but what you
but keeping it
say,
real.
what you say that the subject matter that we talked about, it was an adult conversation. We didn't get over we didn't go over the top where it became like pornography or something, right?
Of course, yeah.
We kept it very professional, but we had to ask these questions. These are difficult questions for people, but they need to be asked because we're humans. And let me say this too. Let me just say this. I'm put myself front and center. Let me say this because I know there's people who don't believe in marriage, don't believe in these certain things, and I get it. You're to each his own. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not meant for humans to be solitary creatures. It is not meant for us to be by ourselves the rest of our life. God put us on this planet to be in unison with our mate, to create family, to multiply, and so on and so forth. It is not meant for you to be alone. So I want to say to the guys out there, anybody out there, you don't want to grow old alone. It ain't cool. It ain't cool to grow old and be alone. Everybody needs somebody in their life when you find the right person in your life. Nobody who wants to be, and this is no disrespect to people that are elderly and they're alone. And it happens. But in general, nobody wants to be old, as they say, and be alone. We all want someone to love and someone to love us. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is important. And this is why it's important. When you look at animals, hell, even bugs on the ground that crawl on the ground have a mate. Beetles and ants and bees, they even mate. Animals have a mate. Birds have a mate. Every living thing on this planet has some interdependence on having a mate at some level or another. Humans are no different. It is how God built us biologically. So it's very important. And there's been studies that show that when people are in loving relationships and people are in loving relationship, they live longer. Matter of fact, there was a study, and I want to ask you all on the panel before you leave and people watching, there's been a study that shows that men actually live longer when they are married and in healthy relationships, that it actually spikes a chemical or some type of reaction within our body emotionally and mentally that helps men to live longer in their relationships. And overall, you live longer and healthier only when you're in a healthy relationship. That's the point. Got to be a healthy relationship. Now, let me go back over to my guests to get their thoughts on that before we get out of here tonight. So let's do this. Let's bring them both back on and see what their thoughts are. And here we go. Let me put this back on here in frame. And Lions Den, what is your thoughts about what I said? Have you heard about those studies about that, or have you heard of that before?
You know what? I mean, this is the first time I've ever heard about that, and I mean, and again, I mean, part of that, what the study was, is true. As long as you're in a healthy relationship, I think if you're in a perfect marriage, a healthy, not a perfect marriage, then nobody's perfect. But as long as you're in a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage, things will go far. And I mean, if you, I'm surprised that men will live longer. I think that's the problem. I think the one thing is that there's no perfect nothing. Nobody's perfect. No marriage is perfect. No relationship is perfect. But as long as you have a balance that you and your spouse will agree upon, then it. I mean, and y'all both are happy with each other, then your relationship will go real far.
Right. Most definitely. Most definitely. I appreciate what you said, Lions. Then back to the basics. You want to add to that as we get ready to conclude tonight?
Yes, that study was mentioned. I had went to a single soldier retreat, and the chaplain, um, he had did a class called Pick a Partner, and it was really good. A lot of what was covered actually in his class, we actually sort of talked about here, because character was definitely one of the things he talked about, and different things about being. Like, he also talked about compatibility as
Mm-hmm.
far as spirituality and honesty. He talked, and we also talked about the different qualities. We wanted to see it in a mate. Of course, honesty was like one of the top ones that I had put, and hardworking, and unselfish was also another a big important one. Because I mean, let's be honest. Like one of the root causes why we see a lot of stuff breaking down is just narcissism, and it's more than just a love for self. There, when we start talking about narcissism, that means people are just being manipulative, among other things. They're not being honest with their self and other people, and also there's this exploitative characteristic where that person can use someone just like a disposable object and then throw them away. So, but yeah, it's a lot. I'm just thankful for just being here, having this conversation with you.
Right. Right. We've got somebody came in from Ireland, I think. Or from,
Oh,
what was it from? From let me see. We have a guy here from no,
Yeah, his,
Scotland.
yeah,
Scotland.
oh,
his name was Snafu. Snafu.
Yeah, see so that's what I'm saying. You do have a lot of international people around the world that are watching this platform from all over, and then the same thing in YouTube. We have people from all over the world that are coming into YouTube channels and watching and saying what's up. But since I've been over here, I'm seeing more people who are international coming over and just saying what's up. Nothing wrong with that. I appreciate people who say who have something positive to say. We got Von Allen in the chat room of app saying what's up. He says something about this. I don't know. He says that's because control. This is what he says, folks. That's because controlling women keep men home and out of trouble. Now he's saying that's why he thinks that men are living longer when they're married, because it's because of controlling women. And all I would say to the brother is that, well, the study doesn't talk about women being controlling. It's just saying that being and I said this, being in a healthy relationship. If you're in a relationship with a woman or a man that's controlling you, that's not a healthy relationship. That's why I
Fact.
preference what I said, sir. If you're in a healthy relationship, nobody should be controlling you. It should be respect. But I do believe that a man should be the king of his castle. A man should be the leader of his family. That things should start and end there. A mother is a nurturer. A man should be a teacher. Well, women are the first teacher of children in the first place, but a man should be a provider. A man should give direction and structure to that household and structure to his son or daughter. Structure. While the woman is making that house, a man should be making sure that the structure of that house maintains itself. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to have balance. Just like we mentioned, we talked about this before, information man. There's a lot of like off balance stuff. I mean, just like I said before, I don't know what happened. I don't know if the 80s and 90s were like the last like push for like when masculinity was actually celebrated, because it seems to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of certain women out here just getting a little bit too masculine, and certain men out here just getting a little bit too feminine. That at least that's
Um,
what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of flip flopping going on around here.
right. Let me just say this. Um, as I shuffle let me shuffle this again. Shuffle you guys around a little bit. Let me say this. I don't like a woman who is feminine in her behavior. Just like women who like men obviously should not be into men as far as relationships that are feminine in their behavior. So I like a woman who's feminine in her behavior, not masculine in her behavior. That's a turn on for me. So if I run across a woman who has those type of qualities, that's an automatically turn off to me. So therefore, there's no need for me to waste my time pursuing anything with a woman that comes off too masculine for my for what I like. So you have to know what you want. A lot of people don't know what they want. Now we've got in the chat room, we got old Earth who says, no, it's the companionship, and a woman looks after their man, makes them go to the doctor. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of women that do stay on top of their men when it comes to health and checkups, because women are very much on top of dealing with the importance of their health. So I totally get that. Very, very important statement there. But I just think that some men, we don't like women that come off too masculine. That's just the way that's just the facts. And I think that we live in a society today where everyone is saying be whatever you want, but I still like I still like some traditional values, such as I think a man should be a man and a woman should be a woman. And I don't mean that in a sexist way. I mean that I think that a man has a role that he has to play. Women have a role that they have to play as well. So I as a man should not be trying to take on act like I'm the woman of the household. No more than the woman should. We should be working in balance and in partnership. Partnership, unison and partnership is how we should be working. But I have to be honest. This is where I cross the line at. Back to the basics. If I'm the husband of that house, I'm the man of that house. My word is going to stand. If I'm raising a family, and if I want to, because this is the thing that a lot of guys want to say that they want to be the alpha dog and what have you. Well, in my household, my word has to stand. When I'm being made to be, if I'm being asked to make a decision, if women are expecting men, if you're asking of me to be the leader, the protector of the household, the protector of you and the children and the family and the structure of that family, then damn it, therefore my words have to be solid in that household. Period. What do you think?
100%. Um, my father, like I said before, I'm not gonna stop talking about him. He was every bit a Leo lion and very masculine. He was a James Brown. Papa don't take no mess type of dude. And he passed a little over a year ago. He transitioned. But I mean, that's what I grew up around. I never remember my dad tearing up you know, or anything of that nature. And my mother, on the other hand, she's a Virgo, so she's very feminine. I mean, so that's what I was exposed to growing up. Whenever I was a child growing up, so that's what I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught that the man is the head of the household. 'Cause my shoot, I mean, because I be watching some things today, whenever I'm out in public, and just to listen to certain women and some of the way they even talk to their partner, their husband or their men, and I'm just like, okay, you gonna let her talk to you like that? You gonna let her, you know, you know? And I'm sitting over here single, and I'm just like, I just sort of sometimes shake my head, but I'm like, okay, but you okay? I'm like, I got it. She's thin, and she got that body and all that, but that mouth, I said, oh my goodness, Lord have mercy.
Let me
But
tell
that's what you.
let me tell you something. Lions didn't step in on this one. This is a mistake that a lot of men make. And I saw it growing up in the barbershop. A lot of guys make mistake when they are attracted to women because of their body, meaning their
Fact.
behind, the shape of their breast, the shape of their body. So a lot of guys meet women in clubs, and they meet that woman in club because they got mesmerized by her the woman's physical attributes, and maybe how her face looks and all that stuff, right? So they get caught up in the sexual. And like I said, I don't want to contradict myself. Sex is sex is very important. It is important. You do want to be with someone that can throw it down. But what I'm saying is, we initially get attracted by a person's physical attributes and things of that nature without necessarily knowing where their mind is. And I used to see this growing up, where you have guys that would meet girls at the club. They get involved with them, maybe get them pregnant unintendedly or whatever, or get involved with them. Next thing, or if they don't have a baby, they just get involved with them. Next thing you know, in that relationship, they find out that the woman may be crazy. The woman may be off her rocker. The woman has bust the glass of the window out, scratched his car. And the guy comes into the barber shop and says, I had no idea she was going to be this crazy. Well, where'd you meet her at? Well, I met her at the club, man, and she was looking good that night when I met her. Oh, man, she was looking good, and that thing was bouncing up and down, man. I had no choice. I had to get with her. And then you get with her, and maybe you get her pregnant, and now she's giving you a hard time, and you're saying yourself, I didn't know she was that crazy. And you didn't know that because you got caught up in the illusion and then caught up in the physical attributes. Women do the same thing. You meet a guy, he's got the Billy D. Williams swagger, muscular, tall. He's getting you sort of moist in the area that you know that counts. And you fall for him like butter on rice and butter on biscuits. And he's saying all the right things to you. He's getting into your mind mentally with all that game and talk that he can talk. And he's got your mind. As I said earlier, you got to get the woman's mind, and then the body drops, right? Well, he's got the game that's in your mind, but not only does he have the game to speak, to say the right things to your mind that get you into him, but now he's got the physical attributes that you covet, that you like. And now he's got you. He's got you hook, line, and sinkered. And you get involved with him. And next thing you know, you're saying to your girlfriends too, girl, I didn't know he was crazy. He's so crazy over me. He jealous. He this, he that. Girl, he hit me. He hit me, girl. He hit me. Girl, why are you messing around with him? Leave him alone. But you know the words y'all always say, but I love him. I love him. And that thunder is railing through the skies right now, and you're saying you love him. But he's abusing you. He's using you for a tool and fool. And you love him because he looks good. He's got the Billy D. Williams swagger and his hammer game. Can I say that again? His hammer game. His hammer game is so strong. His hammer game is so strong, you cannot resist him. And you make the same mistake that men make too when we choose women by how they look and how their attributes, and we're not using logic, and our women are going by how the man makes them feel rather than using logic as to what is he doing, how is he making, because this is the thing to all the ladies out there. Anytime a man is abusing you physically and emotionally, that cannot be love. I'm telling you again, that cannot be love. That is abuse. Leave that type of man alone. Keep him out of your life forever. Don't go for the banana in the tailpipe where he gives you flowers. Like today is Valentine's Day. There's some dudes out there today that gave their ladies flowers and candy after they was treating them poorly the whole week. And then they say to you, you heard this before, I'll never do it again, baby. I won't do it again. Give me forgiveness. And then it's like that song from what was that song? What was that group Lions Den back in the day? The dude with the word up haircut. Remember that song they used to sing? Our love goes back and back and back and forth, back and back and back and forth. Our love goes. Our love goes. I'm best singing tonight. Our love goes back and back and back and forth. That's what you're going to be going through, ladies. Back and back and back and forth. And then when he impregnates you and gives you a child, then you get pregnant by him, and then you're acting surprised. Well, he left me. He left me. He left me to raise a child, and now I'm a single mother. And then you guys, you impregnate these women that are not the best women for you, and you in the barbershop saying, man, I should have never impregnated her. She scratched my car. She bust out my window. She's taking me to child support court. Now I'm living in a cardboard box. Why? I wish I never had met her at the club. I wish I never had that one night stand where I unfortunately didn't use the Jimmy hat.
Oh, the fatal
Lord have mercy. Lord have.
And now look at the trouble that I'm in. Look at the trouble that I'm in.
Fatal attraction.
I bust your windows out your car. It's crazy.
I just can't let him go, girl. He's so good in the bed. He's so muscular. He looks good. He makes me feel good. I can't let JD go, girl. I just can't let JD go. JD is so good to me sometimes when he's good, girl. And so that's what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start spending more time really vetting people that we bring into our life so that we won't become that victim either on the female side or the male side. Lions Den, your last words for the night as I end. This was classic tonight, baby.
It was classic. And remember song Info? Remember that song back in the day? It said girls look so good, but their minds ain't ready. But I'd rather want a woman because their mind is steady. It's still happening now. I think that we as men making wrong choices when it comes to women, especially you say you want to meet in a nightclub or the body look good, or I want to hit that. And it turns out she was like Glenn Close or Fatal Attraction. So a lot of people really need to be very careful of who they choose as their mate, especially if you meet them at the nightclubs. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you're going to find women that has severe emotional problems. And then all of a sudden, when you get that woman pregnant, then you have even more problems because you got to pay child support, you got to do this for the cat, all of that. And that's true because that's what I'm saying. A lot of men need to make some better choices when it comes picking their women.
Brother, you have said it. You said it as I put you over there on the side, brother. You telling the truth. And Earl Owens, thank you. He said the person that I was talking about was Cameo. Remember Cameo?
Yeah, I remember Cameo. Yow.
Word up. Yow. Everybody say, y'all got the bottle. Word up. Yow. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, we having a good time tonight. It's fantastic. We got 26 people watching us still in YouTube proper. Overall, within the streaming sphere tonight, coming out of HAPS, we got 218 people watching us live. Thank you for I hope I've been entertaining. I hope I've been informative tonight. I hope I hope that this is something that you will say, hey, we got to get back over to the Information Man channel, because we know Information Man is going to entertain us. He's going to give us some information that's going to make us learn something. We're going to learn from him. He's going to learn from us. We're going to bounce ideas. We can have adult conversation and do it in a way that's respectful and respect each other. And guess what, folks? We wasn't on here yelling and screaming and all this kind of stuff and all this kind of nonsense that goes on sometimes, right? This is so when I haven't had a panel like this in a long time on this channel, Lions Den, because I stopped. I kind of got away. I kind of got away from that and trying to focus more on content. But this was great. When I bring panels on, I want to have intelligent conversation. See,
right.
It gets to something. It gets somewhere. So, once again, Lions Den, remind everybody where they can find you on social media, your channel. And the fact that you are a married man. Me and you have been talking tonight, but both of us, you are married currently, and I was married for 15 years, been divorced. So we got the best of both worlds here. A man who's been married for a long time, but been divorced and went through that situation. A man who is currently married. A man who is currently sacrificing and working in New Mexico for trying to take care of his family and open up an opportunity for himself that can get him back to where his wife is. Okay. We have a woman on the panel tonight who's in the military. So we got people on this panel tonight between the three of us who have a lot of experience. A lot of times you find you have guys on social media who will talk to you about relationships or marriage, but yet they've never been in a marriage. They have no kids. I have a child. They have no child, never been married a day of their life. They have no perspective, either bad or good, because they've never been in anything. And when you have a child or a marriage, that's big responsibility. Because why, Lions Den? When you have a child in a marriage, now you have to not only think about yourself, but you have to put your child and your family ahead of that. See, you have guys who talk about these things, but they have no other responsibility outside of themselves. You should listen to people who have had experience either in marriage, out of marriage, or in relationships.
Facts.
Anybody that's talking to you about marriage who have never been married before, this is just my opinion. You shouldn't be listening to people who tell you about marriage, even if they're saying you should never get married. If they've never been married, they have no experience, they have no frame of reference. You should not be listening to people who have no frame of reference because they don't know what they're talking about, because they've never been married. You have good marriages, you have good marriages. If you're listening to someone who's talking about how bad marriage is, who's never been married, well, they're just talking about bad marriages. But there's also good marriages and good relationships out there too. And anybody that's telling you about family and family's a structure, but they don't have a family of their own, meaning they have no children, they have no wife, they have no family of their own, or have never had experience at raising a family, you shouldn't be listening to them either, because they've got no frame of reference, they got no experience talking about family if they've never produced a family themselves, man or woman. You hear what I'm saying?
Hey, Info. I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I am a son-in-law to a well-known pastor in the state of Tennessee.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. My wife is a pastor's daughter, but the thing of it is that one good thing about them, and I'm just being honest, this is a personal thing. One good thing about them is that they took me in. They love me like I'm part of their family, and it's most important when it comes to in-laws. And I mean, I expect that to a mother-in-law, but if a father-in-law likes you, you're in good shape. Because most father-in-laws, we know, especially in their marriage, most father-in-laws, they're very, very cautious about. I mean, it's better enough you dating their daughter, but you're married to their daughter. They're very, really be cautious about that. So I'm very glad that I'm part of a family that's Christian owned. He's a pastor, and he loves me like one of his own. So I'm very happy about that.
Okay. Let me say thank you to everybody in the YouTube chat room. We got J Lo Rich, who's been hanging in there with me all night. You must be new to my channel. So welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. We got Christo in the house. Thank you, sister, for being here. We got Earl Owens, Sonia Seas, who's come over from Haps. Sonia Seas has been rocking with us all night. RY's been rocking with us all night. Earl Owens been rocking with us all night. Everybody over in the YouTube chat room proper have been rocking with us all night, and all 26 people who are watching on the watch box in YouTube. And I know that 26 is fake, because when I end this on YouTube, it'll probably show that there was maybe 100, maybe 200 that were actually really watching in YouTube proper. So you just never know with YouTube how they get down. But let me give everybody a clap over in the YouTube chat room right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And let me give everybody a clap, all 220 of you out there watching the program tonight throughout the live streaming sphere. And let me thank everybody on Haps proper and the guys who created this platform, which is a great platform to stream from. Let me give all of you a clap right now, too. All right. All right.
Tell the truth.
Now, let me go over to back to the basics and let her give her words before we end tonight. So I'm going to put her front and center. Lions Den, I thank you for being here. You're going to be off the next few days. So what I'm going to do, I still need to bring you on I still have not launched a new podcast on Spreaker yet. So maybe tomorrow we're going to do something together, and I'll be broadcasting. Even if I go live on Haps again, I'm going to broadcast into Spreaker. And I'll probably have to do it to you being on the phone with me, so that the audio will come through into Spreaker. And then and then I'm going to do a podcast. We'll probably talk politics or something like that. Okay, brother? Gotcha. So I'll be contacting you before, because I know your work hours are crazy. This man be going to work at what, 5 o'clock in the morning?
Shoot, I've been going to be work at 6:30, but I don't get off till like 5 or 6 in the morning, because including overtime. So yeah, that's crazy.
Man, you must be building ships and cities or something, my God.
I wish that's the case. But before I leave info, I want to give them my social media.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry about that. Go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on my Twitter. It's at the Real Lions Den. You can follow me on my Facebook at facebook.com/the Real Lions Den. You can also follow me on my Instagram at instagram.com/the_real_lions_den2. You can add me on my YouTube channel. Just look for Lions Den, aka Trey X. I also have a station head. I'm doing my own shows I was doing on Wednesday, but now I'm starting to do it on Saturdays on Station Head. Follow me on my Station Head every Saturday at 11. Also, I'm on stereo, and I'm following me on Snapchat at LionsDen39.
All right, Lions Den, we're going to do it again, brother. I really appreciate you being here. Stick around, though, still. Okay, back to the basics. Your turn. I'm going to put you front and center. Let's get you front and center. Go right ahead. Back to the basics. Your good words. I don't like saying last words anymore, so let's just go with your good words.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me onto your broadcast on this platform. Really did enjoy the adult conversation. Some of those questions did get a little, but hey, it is what it is. We kept it real. It was good. And I just look forward to seeing what Haps has to offer. I haven't went live yet. I had planned to go live earlier today, but I might do something tomorrow. I just have to see.
Well, I think I've heard you speak before on your channel, and I think what you have to offer is going to be fantastic. And I think with you being able to pull over all your media, it's going to be fantastic. So what I learned tonight, and that's why I'm rethinking a few things, is that I think I'm going to have to separate my content, meaning I'm going to probably go live on YouTube and only do my content into YouTube directly to still, because I still have to be loyal to the people who prefer to watch me on YouTube proper or that will pull over to YouTube. So I'm gonna have to play around with a few things in my balancing act between YouTube content that will only be YouTube content and the content that will be primarily put out here. So I think I'm going to split it up. I'm going to split it up because I have 2 channels. So I've got to split it up because it's obvious to me tonight that there are a lot of people who also follow me on YouTube who are watching me through the apps, however they're watching me. I mean, hell, they might be watching me on Instagram. I don't know. It's whatever these guys have cooked up here on this platform. It's something else, and I ain't gonna worry about too much. Whatever it is that's working, but it's working. But go ahead. What else what you were gonna say? I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, that's all. Just I'm thankful for just being here and for being here with you, and for just adding to the conversation. It was really good. It was a great stream.
Thank you. I mean, look, a lot of times we do talk about serious issues. I talk about a lot of serious issues, but we need to be, we're living in a time where we've been isolated. We need to laugh. Tonight was a very important show because we're talking about relationships, but we also need to be able to laugh at ourselves and laugh and have a good time in the process of talking about this issue. Because everybody needs to laugh. Everybody needs a breather. Everybody needs to get the stress out. Because we're not living under normal times anymore. I'm not happy that I can't go to a real movie theater anymore or go out and have a bite to eat at a restaurant, do the things I used to like to do, right? You can't go to a concert, right? Really can't do any of that stuff, right? So it is what it is. Lions, then you are a football fan. You got the Philadelphia Eagles on tonight, right?
Fly Eagles fly.
I really was not happy that Tom Brady won another Super Bowl. My God.
Womp womp womp.
A Tampa Bay Bucks fan, the way she sound.
Oh, are you a well, let me hit that little sound effect. I'm tired of Tom Brady, man. He winning everything. There ain't gonna be no more rings and trophies, man, when he finished. I mean, save some for other people.
Well, Tom Brady got his 7th ring, so I just don't understand. I just don't know. Tom Brady, I guess he call him the GOAT now because he got all 7 rings and stuff.
Yeah, this what I don't like though. They keep trying to compare Tom Brady to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got 6 rings. Tom Brady's got 7. And they're trying to say, well, he got 7 rings, so that surpasses him over Jordan. No, he don't. First of all, basketball and football are 2 different sports. First of all, you can make an argument that what Michael Jordan did was greater because basketball is a 12-man sport with 5 men on the court where you got to play defense and you got to play offense. Tom Brady plays offense, then he goes over and sits on the table, sets down, and then his defense has to go out there and play good to give him back the ball. Michael Jordan, when he played in the NBA, he had to get up and down the court and play on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And he had to play against very good basketball teams. Tom Brady spent a majority of his career playing in the AFC East, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the AFC East is weak. Let's name the teams in the AFC East. Let's see. The Miami Dolphins. When have they been good? And not a very long time. Okay, let's talk about what's the other team in the AFC East, Lions Den? What's another team?
You got the Buffalo Bills. Let's see, because really the Bills went to the playoffs, so I ain't got nothing negative to say about them. Let's see, you got the New York.
Right.
Jets.
But wait a minute.
You got the New York Jets.
Okay, but wait a minute though. The Buffalo Bills just got good now, but when Tom Brady was playing in that division, the majority of the time that he was playing in the NFL in that division, the Buffalo Bills weren't no powerful team. They weren't the Buffalo Bills that went to the Super Bowl 4 times. Okay, now the Jets. When have the Jets haven't been good since Broadway Joe. So he played in a division where he had teams in the division that never could compete with Tom Brady. Matter of fact, there was no team in that division the whole time he played in that division that had a franchise quarterback. So Tom Brady played in a division where he did not face more than one time quarterbacks in his division that were either franchise quarterbacks or decent quarterbacks. So one of the reasons why the Patriots would go to the Super Bowl in the playoffs every year because they played in one of the most easiest divisions in football. So every year, if you got to play against those teams every year, well, you should be going to the playoffs every year because you were playing in the weakest division every damn year. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm not saying that Tom Brady's not a great quarterback. He didn't play well against great teams when he faced great teams. But what I'm saying to you, when you play in a weak division, that gives you more opportunity to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship every year when your division sucks. And the only teams that would really give Tom Brady problems would be the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Primarily.
Yeah. Especially in the playoffs.
And even the Baltimore Ravens didn't really have a consistent great quarterback plan for them during Tom Brady's heyday in that division.
Facts.
The Pittsburgh, they got Roethlisberger, but the Baltimore Ravens, they didn't really always have a great quarterback. You think Trent Dilfer is great? Give me a break. And another thing too, most of the teams that were playing in Tom Brady's division, they didn't have great defenses. Come on now. Tell me the truth.
They don't.
Most of the teams that he faced in his division that he played twice, they did not have great defense. The Jets did not have a great defense. They had one great cornerback. They had a cornerback. You know what cornerback I'm talking about. He was good. But overall, he didn't face. The only time Tom Brady faced top-notch defense is when he would play against the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. Yeah.
And when he played a team out of his division that had a good defense every now and then. If you notice, the teams that he faced that had a good defense, that's where he would have his most problems because he ain't no scrambling quarterback.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he also, I compare Tom Brady to like Joe Montana, same scenario. Joe Montana was in the right system with the right coach. Because I know this because I'm a 49ers fan. I followed the 49ers all the way back to those days. So Joe Montana was in the right system with the right coach, the right offense, and the right owner to spend the money. Same thing with Tom Brady. He had the right coach, the right defensive system, the right offensive system, and he had an owner that was willing to spend the money to get the best players there. Now, one thing I will say, one thing I got to be honest about, and I must tell the truth. Tom Brady didn't always have top flight receivers, right?
Yeah.
Montana played with Jerry Rice, right? He had usually very good receivers when he played. For the most part, Tom Brady didn't have always the best type flight receivers, but what he did have is that Belichick and the owner Kraft, they put together a great team around him with great defense, and defense wins Super Bowls. And if you got a great quarterback with a great defense and a great coach and a system, you're going to win. That's why the 49ers were successful in their day, and that's why the Patriots were successful. I'll end there.
Yeah, and that's mainly the reason why that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won this year, and not just because of Tom Brady, but because of their defense. Their defense keep Mahomes off in check. Because remember, Patrick Mahomes in the Kansas City was throwing some bombs and hitting at wide receivers. But in the Super Bowl, when he faced Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year, Patrick Mahomes is like a mediocre quarterback. He's running for his life. And that's mainly the reason why the Tampa Bay became now the Super Bowl champions.
Right. Well, I didn't mean for us to get into sports talk, but I just had to let it rip there. Though,
Oh, it's
but
all
thank you, Lions Den.
good.
It's
Yeah.
all good. I mean, we're having a good time tonight. We got people watching us out there, 239 people overall watching us, and we got 24 watching us still in the YouTube streets. I appreciate that, everybody. It's time to end the stream. Let me see. Ted Hicks says, I meant the AFC East. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Tom Brady. He is a great quarterback. But you do need to look at the fact that playing in a weak division, it did give him a easier journey to the AFC East championship game or to the playoffs. Let me say that. It gave him an easier journey to get into the playoffs. And when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope your Philadelphia football team, man, I hope they get themselves in order.
Honestly, Info, I don't think they're gonna get themselves in order because we dealing with a crazy GM and Howie Roseman. He don't know what the hell he's doing when it comes to draft picks and stuff like that. We already got rid of. We noticed that Carson Wentz is gonna be traded soon. We got to, and then because he doesn't like the GM, he doesn't like Howie Roseman, so he's gonna get traded. Most of the players on the Eagles team is older anyway. They try to get a lot younger now. We already got a young coaching staff. So, yeah, we might not even be back in the playoffs anytime soon. So,
yeah, my 49ers looks like they're trying to get rid of Jimmy G or something. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't watch as much sports as I used to because I got rid of my cable a long time ago. Although I have been thinking about getting a pack. You know, YouTube has a cable package that seems to be pretty decent. I've been looking at possibly because I do miss watching my sports the way I used to. But I'll see how things go. I appreciate everybody out there listening tonight. We were talking about Valentine's Day, relationship, marriage, and we got into a little bit of sport talk right here. But we're going to end the program. And looks like my man Ted, and I want to say thank you, Ted. He put your social media in the chat room over here in Haps, and he put mine. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight, for listening. Everybody in YouTube, we got my man Zero Infinity is in the house. Brother Zero, Sonia C's, RY. Brian is in the house. We had Earl Owens who came through, Patience, and a bunch of people. Crystal, a bunch of people came through tonight and made it really fun. And I just thank everybody for being here. Jay Lowe, Rich was in the house. Just a bunch of people came in to the YouTube chat room and we're hanging out. And we got Zero, who I see over here in the Haps chat. And what's up to you, brother? What's up to you? Good to see you. So Lions Den, take care, everybody. I'm gonna take over the screen and get ready to play it out with my music. And back to the basics. Take care of yourself. Start streaming on here. Start getting your content together.
Yeah, I was gonna stream like I said earlier today, but I was a little under the weather, so I might come tomorrow with some content. There have been some things I've been working on behind the scenes, and you'll see. I don't want to do a spoiler alert.
All right. Well, I have let me play Dr. Information Man here. I have a prescription. I have a prescription for you since you're not feeling well. I have a prescription for you. My prescription for you is that you need to get you some hammer.
Oh my gosh. Really? Of all the things. Here, I thought you were gonna say like some black seed oil or some elderberry or something. And you're talking about you talking about hammer time.
I do mean black seed oil of the hammer type.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm done.
All right, everybody. I'm out of here. It's been a great program tonight. And for those of you who are out there listening, all 242 of you, and all of you in the YouTube chat room area, if you have not subscribed, come on over to the YouTube channel, Information Man Show on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel proper over there. If you could subscribe to Lions Den. Lions Den, let everybody know again the name of your channel on YouTube.
It's Lions Den, aka Trey Axe.
Okay, and you're also on and I think Ted put it in this chat room here. You're also on the Haps as well, right?
Yep, I'm on the
But
Haps as well.
but you also let me make you front and center. But you also podcast, brother. Don't
Yes.
deny that. Let everybody know about your
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, my podcast is called Roar on Your Podcast on Anchor. It's stationwide on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast devices.
Okay. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Information Man of the Information Man Show. Thank you. And once again, you know I have the podcast channel where I broadcast over there very frequently. Man, I mean frequently. I said freak. Anyway, everybody, you know that I go over, I put content over there very frequently, and I go live over there. And so I will be dropping something over there, if not tomorrow. But what I have to determine now, Lions Den, is I may have to just fire up YouTube itself to make sure that I maximize the people who still rock with me on YouTube proper.
Okay.
And then I'll probably utilize Haps every now and then when I want to broadcast in these other multiple areas because I know if I was broadcasting on YouTube tonight, I would probably streamline a lot of my following straight into my YouTube channel. But tonight, my people that are watching me, they're all over the streamosphere. I'm seeing 248 in this Haps app watch box, and I love it because it's great to know that you have support, that people are watching all over the world and all over the place, and this is fantastic. I'll be in contact with you to get the podcast. I'm gonna be broadcasting on. I'm gonna go live when we broadcast. I'll go live on Spreaker.
Okay.
And
I'll be there.
And broadcast that, and I'll have to bring you through the telephone.
Okay.
Or I can broadcast on StreamYards, because on StreamYards you can save the recording and upload that recording to a audio podcast. But I kind of want to go live on Spreaker tomorrow.
Okay.
And then maybe hopefully bring you in, and then after that's over, that'll hit all the other platforms: SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all that good stuff. So we'll see. I'll be in contact with you, brother. You take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Have a good night, y'all.
All right, have a good night. You take care. Back to the basics, all right?
Okay, peace and blessings to you.
All right, peace and blessings to you as well. And I want to thank everybody for coming over tonight. This is the Information Man Show. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you learned something tonight. I hope that I inspired you. We inspired you. I hope that you enjoyed the broadcast wherever you are listening to this broadcast. I hope that you got the history that I broke down about the history of Valentine Day and what it really means. Look into it for yourself so that you know that what I said to you is the truth. Okay, everybody? I'm going to get on out of here. And
tell the truth.
Woo, too loud.
Tell the truth.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off tomorrow because I think tomorrow is President's Day. I don't know how many of you are off tomorrow. If you are off tomorrow and you don't have to go to work or anything, those of you who are working, because certainly there are people who have lost employment due to this virus, put a 1 in the chat room if you're off. I'm off tomorrow. Well, I'm always off tomorrow because I get 3-day weekends and I work 10 hours. I work what they call 4-10s, where you work 10 hours and then you get 3-day weekends off. And I love it that way. So I appreciate everyone coming over again. And back to the bases is saying peace and blessings in the chat room. And let me check the YouTube chat room once more. And let's see what's going on. Everybody is saying that they're off tomorrow. So let me get out of here. Earl Owens is my main man. RY, all of you people, all of you great people, great folks in the chat room. All of you everywhere that are listening. Thank you. Thank you for coming over. You are the best. And we're going to keep this whole thing going and going and going. With that said, it is time to be out of here. I want you to enjoy the music and presentation once again that you are about to see again. And thank you, everybody. Peace. This is the Information Man. This is the Information Man Show.
Information is power.
You'll never feel the way I feel. You don't know if my love is real. Baby, listen to me, here's the deal. When you're not here, I'm not the same. I'm needing a new chapter, babe. Been stuck here in the bed for days. I've been staring at the telephone, cause when you're gone, I miss your face. Late o'clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and fall, tear apart. Issues left behind, restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Hey, bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. I never wanna give you up. I know we've been through way too much, but I'm confident we'll make it through. I'm here for you, you're not by yourself. Late o'clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and fall, tear apart. Issues left behind, restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore.
Information is power. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
The descent is still my favorite part. Easy to end and hard for me to start. You don't wanna feel that part of me that's cold and numb with apathy. Cause when I feel that way, I can't help nobody. Nobody, I can't trust nobody. Nobody, I can't trust nobody. No, no, nobody, I can't trust nobody. No, 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 not even myself. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Stretch out my hand to you and take down your blindfold. Imagine that I reach out to you, but I'm young and still prideful. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Where the fuck does your mind go? Where the fuck did the time go? Small talk kept the lights so. Cut to the chase, get out my face. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Stretch out my hand to you and take down your blindfold. Imagine that I reach out to you, but I'm young and still prideful. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Where the fuck does your mind go? Where the fuck did the time go? Small talk, kept the lights so. Cut to the chase, get out my face. Look in the mirror, look at your face. See that it's destiny, see that it's fate. Wash off the mess of me from yesterday. Hit the sativa, caffeine in the play. As a superhero stand beside when I'm feeling down, down, down. But I'm optimistic that I can turn it all round, round, round. Baby, if you felt my pain, you know how strong I am. Make this shit look easy, swear it's hard to stand. I didn't make no time for falling. It was never in my plan. Examination, recall, pre-hope, that's just who I am. Are you checking on me? Checking on me. Are your checks secured? Checks secured. Are you betting on me? Or is my enemy preferred? Are you down to ride? Can I really trust your word? Can I really trust your word? Cause I needed you to be mindful of. Needed you to be mindful. Stretch out my hand to you and take down your blindfold. Imagine that I reach out to you, but I'm young and still prideful. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Where the fuck does your mind go?
Information is power.
Small talk kept the lights so. Cut to the chase, get out my face. Needed you to be mindful of me. Needed you to be mindful. Stretch out my hand to you and take down your blindfold. Imagine that I reach out to you. I'm young and still prideful.
Information is power.
Needed you to be mindful. Where the fuck does your mind go? Where the fuck did the time go? Small talk at the lights so. Cut to the chase, get out my face.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help have this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say let's convey. Don't need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good, do. Show me something, give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help that the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now. But I'm done waiting. Done wasting my time. Let the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say this to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. Let the sweet talk. Sweet
Information is power. Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time when meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove. Baby, you're the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you. Crutches, I be holding crutches. Can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I get distant. Stay away as long as it takes. Forgive my attitude. I need my cake and eat it too. But a little time will be enough for me to prove. Baby, you're the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you. My highs and my lows is part of being human. Can you weather the storm? I'm starting to believe you can. Cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want these problems, I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you, with you. Pick me in your arms. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you. And I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down. Let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry. You give me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along. Maybe this is where our story starts. Maybe it was written in the stars. Written in the stars. You will be forever, yeah. You will be forever.
All right. Let me bring it down. I got my man in the house. Brother Sanchez. Brother Sanchez, I'm rocking it strong tonight, brother. I'm feeling good. Things are going well. I've been broadcasting for a while, my brother. I'm using Haps, and I got about 270 people watching me over on Haps right now live. What's happening is, Brother Sanchez, you might want to check this thing out yourself, too. I'm able to broadcast into all the areas of my social media. So some of my YouTube crowd is split into all these other social medias, too. But I had about 30, I had a nice little crowd over here in the YouTube. But a lot of my folks are watching me on everything. So I got a good 271 that's watching me out there, which I'm very happy about, because I'm getting people where they are on all the different social medias, YouTube as well. But show's coming to about an end. You just super chatted me the $5, which I appreciate, brother. So what I got to do for you is I got to give you the music that comes with that super chat and all that good stuff. And I got to give you the whole full presentation. So I ain't going nowhere until I do that, because I have mad respect for Brother Sanchez. That's my brother. Here we go.
Tell him run it off. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. 9 out of 10, rub through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. I wake up, flex.
Yeah. Super chat, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah. My man, my main man, Brother Sanchez. Yes.
Come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried.
Yes.
One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
All right.
Make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Peace. My dear brother, thank you for coming over, man. It's been a great night. We were talking about relationships, and I was getting into the history of this thing called Valentine's Day, the pagan history. Brother Sanchez, let me say it again, because you might know this already. The pagan history of it comes out of the Romans, and the Romans were doing rituals where they were sacrificing goats and dogs, and they would take the carcasses that were left over from the killing of these animals, which they would use to whip women with, and they would whip women with these things, thinking that that was somehow going to increase the fertility of the woman. Weird stuff. And they would do this in their drunkenness. Okay, they would get drunk and all things of that nature. Then they would have a lottery where they would put women names in a jar, and then they would connect young men to the women throughout the night to see if they were suitable for marriage or relationship or whatever. This is the pagan ritual that the Romans were engaging in, my brother. You probably noticed all this stuff already. And then we know that back in AD, let me put this on the screen, particularly for everybody, but particularly for my brother Sanchez, because this is the type of stuff that he gets into, the history, the genealogy, you know, the wordplay, where stuff arrived from, and all this sort of stuff like that. So right up here, oops, that's not what I wanted up there. This is what I want up there. Boom, here we go. So it ended up morphing into this Tammy, T-A-M-E, Tammy Christian Fest Day in AD 496 when the Pope Augustus, I think Gelas-Ius, he would do a commemoration, you know, to this thing called Saint Valentine, or Saint, in the 3rd century Roman Empire. This dude named Claudius II, who would execute men named Valentine on February 14th. And they would do this every year on February 14th. And then, as I was saying, the Romans would have this weird ritual between February 13th and 14th, my brother, and everybody listening, where they would get involved in this sacrificing of goats and dogs, using the carcasses to whip it across women's bodies for fertility. It was weird. It was abusive. So we're celebrating a day that really comes out of an origins of men getting drunk in Rome and doing these weird Babylonian rituals, and at the same time harming women. And they tell us this is the day that we're supposed to be about love and everything like that. So that's where it comes out of. And I'm pretty sure you know this kind of history too, brother, because this is the kind of stuff you get deep into on your show.
Tell the truth.
So I just wanted to say that, because you missed a lot of of my program early on tonight, because we were talking, I brought that history up, and then we followed it up with marriage, relationships, things of that nature. I had a few guests on, and we got into it pretty strong, my brother. So I hope you dig what I'm saying and everything like that, my brother. I hope you dig what I was just putting down there. And let me look back into the chat room with my jacked up glasses I got on, and see what Brother Sanchez is saying. And Brother Sanchez says that's facts.
Tell the truth.
And thank you, because I respect you, brother. I respect you a hell of a lot. So that's my presentation. I had to remind Sanchez that, you know, we had an educational component to this conversation tonight with the guests that I had on. So let me play just one last tune for the night. I ain't got nowhere to go. I don't have to go. I'm not going to work tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, as I usually am. I'm just going to be relaxing, looking at some Netflix or something. But I'm going to play one more song before I get out of here. And everybody out there, I appreciate the support that I'm getting. I got to figure out what I'm going to do, folks. I think maybe I should sometimes just go YouTube only, because now that I'm streaming into all these other areas, it's kind of pulled my audience from YouTube into these other areas, which, you know, I'm glad that I'm getting to people wherever they are on their social platforms, because I'm saying it again, because I just think it's a great thing when I look at 278 people watching the program in these other platforms so that means that the content is getting out to the people. So I appreciate that. And I'm glad for HAPS to use the system that I'm using. I'm broadcasting into HAPS using another broadcasting software. That's how I create all my effects. So it becomes a real production for me to put on here. So let's go back for one last song. And I hope you enjoy once again the presentation, the slides, everything, everybody. Appreciate this. This is Information Man Speaks Podcast. That's my podcast channel. The second channel, check that out. But Information Man Show, this is the first channel tonight. And make sure you subscribe.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with with more music before we end.
Information is power.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Hearing this.
Let's go with that song, folks. All music is licensed. All music is licensed. Ain't gonna be no YouTube penalty on me. All my music is licensed.
So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. How to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. How to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. Information is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I want to say peace and love and blessing to God's chosen vessel, Gwen. Thank you for coming through, my sister. Broadcast is about over, but I want to thank you for coming over. I have a lot of respect for you. You are modded up, and have a very good evening and night. And I appreciate you being here.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Good night. Good night, everybody.